Good afternoon, children.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon. So, we are going to start with, we'll continue, okay, where we are going to talk about the neighbors, okay, we're going to talk about the neighbors of a pixel. So, how do we call, who are said to be called as the neighbors of a pixel? To know about neighbors of a pixel, first of all, consider an image. I'll consider an image that is said to be f of x comma y. Okay, I consider an image f of x comma y where I'm going to consider some subset of pixels. I'm going to consider some subset of pixels, and that is given by my s. And I consider two particular pixels which are given the name q and p. I'm going to take two particular pixels which are said to be called as q and p. Okay. Now I'll just a small diagrammatic representation where I show that my x is growing downwards and y is in this direction, and this is said to be my origin. Okay, keeping this axis in mind, that is what I'm going to explain. So I'm having my image. I imagine this is my image. I have pixels on my image. I've got some pixels on my image. Okay, so I'm going to consider a small subset of that, okay, in which I'm considering one of the images can be called as P and one of the pixel can be called as Q. This is what I was saying. Now, I want to find whether if I take a particular pixel, if I take a particular pixel, who is the neighbor of my pixel? Who are the neighbors of my pixel? So first we will talk about four neighbors. First we will talk about the four neighbors. Okay, that is represented as n4 of which pixel? So I'm going to consider for pixel p. I'm going to consider for pixel p. So here I'm finding the four neighbors for pixel p. Imagine the point P has a coordinate value x comma y, has a coordinate value x comma y. Now I've shown you in my diagram that I'm saying that x is growing downwards and y is said to be growing to the right. So you can imagine what is the situation when it is going down. Okay, if this is x, the previous value is going to be x minus 1 and the next value is going to be x plus 1. Now if I'm taking y axis in this direction, okay, so obviously if this is set to be y, this next point is going to be y minus and 1, and this previous value is going to be y minus 1 and the next value is going to be y plus 1. So keeping these things in mind, we are going to write. So I'm going to consider the pixels on top. I'm going to consider the pixel at the bottom, at the right, and at the left. And give a coordinate value for the neighbors of my pixel P. The pixel which is on the right will be having the coordinate value P, sorry, not P, it will be having the coordinate value in terms of x and y. So as it is in the same x-axis, as it is in the same x value, the x value is not changing. So x is said to be same, but y changes. So it is said to be x comma y plus 1. What about this particular point? This particular point is also having the value x, same x value, but y is going to be what? Just to the left of it. So that is y minus 1. What about the value on top? The value on top, I can say that the x is set to be, here it is set to be x minus 1 and y is going to be constant. What about the value at the bottom according to this diagram? So here we'll have it as you're having x plus 1 because here see next after that you're increasing the value of x downwards. So x plus 1 and the y is going to be same. The y is going to be same. So I can say that the two horizontal.
Ma'am,
Okay, so we'll continue. I was talking about the two horizontal neighbors of my x, the two horizontal neighbors of my x, the two horizontal neighbors of my p of x comma y, of my p of x comma y are said to be x comma y minus 1 and I have x comma y plus 1. They are the two horizontal neighbors. Then I have two vertical neighbors. I have two vertical neighbors of p of x comma y, which can be given as x minus y, which are at position x minus y, and it is at position, the another one is at position x plus 1 comma y. So in short, I can say that the four neighbors of my pixel P are said to be at position x comma y minus 1, comma you can combine these two and get it as x comma y plus 1, and the vertical neighbors x minus 1 comma y and x plus 1 comma y. Okay, so this is what you have to remember, the four neighbors of your pixel. I'm talking about the four neighbors with respect to P. With respect to P, I have said, I have mentioned the four neighbors. Okay, these are the four neighbors of my P. Now, once I've got the four neighbors of my P, I would like to talk about the next set of neighbors that are said to be the diagonal neighbors. Next, I have to talk about the diagonal neighbors. What do you mean by diagonal? That means the left diagonal and the right diagonal. So if this is my point P and I have x comma y, okay, so I'm going to talk about a pixel which is at this position, a pixel which is at this position, a pixel which is at this position, and a pixel which is at this position. You know that the x is said to be increasing in this order and y is said to be increasing in this order. So obviously if this is x, this point is going to be x minus 1 and this point is going to be x plus 1. So respectively you can write x minus 1 and this is x plus 1. What about the y value? What about the y value? The y value you can write here as y minus 1. Here also you can write y minus 1. But here it is said to be y plus 1, isn't it? It is said to be y plus 1. So I've got my diagonal neighbors of my pixel. The diagonal neighbors of my pixel P is represented as ND of P. It is represented as ND of P. So which are the diagonal neighbors of my ND of P? It is said to be given as, which all are they? They are said to be x minus 1 comma y minus 1. Then you have x minus 1 comma y plus 1. Then you have x plus 1 comma y minus 1. Then you have x plus 1 comma y plus 1. Okay, so these are the neighbors, the four neighbors of your diagonal neighbors of your P. Now that you have got the diagonal neighbors also, now that you have got the diagonal neighbors also, now what is the next thing that we need? We need the eight neighbors. Now we are going to talk about the eight neighbors of P, the eight neighbors of P, which will be represented as N8 of P, N8 of P, which can be written as N4 of P, that is all the four neighbors, the horizontal and vertical neighbors of P plus the diagonal neighbors of P. Okay, N8 of P, that is the eight neighbors of P can be written as a combination of the four neighbors, the horizontal and vertical neighbors of P plus which one? Which plus the diagonal neighbors, plus the diagonal neighbors of my P. So how many of them are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is how we call the eight neighbors of P. Okay, so this is the third terminology that you need to know. You should know the four neighbors of P, you should know the diagonal neighbors of P, how it is being represented, and you should know the eight neighbors of P. You should know the eight neighbors of P. Now, once this much is said to be clear, now let us look into the connectivity or adjacent. Okay, we're going to talk about the connectivity or the adjacency. Okay, we're going to talk about the adjacent ones. To talk about this, they are said to be, we categorize them into four: connectivity or adjacent, how the pixels are said to be connected. Okay, so that is what we are going to talk. So we have three types of them. We have Okay, so we have a connectivity or adjacency. We can say they're said to be of three types. You have three types. One is said to be called as the four adjacency. It is said to be called as the four adjacency. Okay, then you are said to be having eight adjacency. Okay, then you have something called as eight adjacency. And then you have something called as M adjacency. You have M adjacency. Okay, so you have 4, 8, and M. You have 4, 8, and M. M adjacency is also called as the mixed adjacency. It is also called as the mixed adjacency. The M adjacency is also called as a mixed adjacency. Now, to understand this, first of all, we'll consider an image that is a binary image. Okay, we are going to consider an image which is said to be called as a binary image. And you know, binary image basically consists of ones and zeros. It consists of ones and zeros. We're going to take a set V, okay? And as it is a binary image, in that we are going to consider only one. That is, we are going to consider only, we are going to concentrate on only the pixel value which is said to be one, the pixel value which is equal to one in my image. Now imagine you have an image which is having the pixel value as 0, 1, 0, 1. Then you have 0, 0, 1, 0. Then you have 0, 0, 1, 0. Then you have 1, 0, 0, 0. So I'm going to consider the pixel which is having the value 1. I'm not concentrating on pixels which are having the value 0. I'm only concentrating on the pixel which is having the value 1. That is the value which I'm going to consider. Now for this, if you see, if I select a particular pixel, if I select a particular pixel out in this position, in this coordinate position, you can see that there is a one which is just beneath it. There are ones which is to the right and to the left of it. You can see that there are ones to the left and right of it. So I'm going to talk how this one is being connected to the ones which is on the left and which is on the right and which is at the bottom of it. Okay. I'm going to tell you the connectivity or the adjacency of this selected pixel which is having a value 1 with the pixels which are having a value 1 to the right, which is to the top left, which is to the top right, and which is to the top bottom. Now you know that when I take a pixel, okay, I consider the four neighbors. When I say the four neighbors, it has to be either to the top or bottom or left or right. This is for the four neighbors, isn't it? This is for the four neighbors. When I talk about the diagonal neighbors, when I talk about the diagonal neighbors, or you can say the eight neighbors, you can say that you're considering what? You're going to consider even which ones? You're going to even consider the diagonal ones. The diagonal connectivity is also said to be considered. So you can say that this connectivity that is between this one and this particular one, okay, it is somewhat like your four. It is like your four adjacency. That connectivity can be called as four adjacency. It is said to be called as a four adjacency, or it can be called as four connectivity. It is said to be called as a four adjacency, or it is said to be called as a four adjacency. And then what about these pixels with the position which is said to be at the top left and top right? This connection, okay, these two connections are said to be belonging to eight adjacency. They are said to be called as eight adjacency because normally we say either four adjacency or eight adjacency. So my diagonal, when my elements are in the diagonal position, I'll be giving them as eight adjacency. That is, they are connected via the eight adjacent pixel concept. Okay. So that is about your binary image. Now imagine this particular pixel. Now imagine this pixel which is having a value 1 because V is only looking into the pixels which is having this particular value in the set, that is 1. So ഇതാണെങ്കിൽ ഇതിന്റെ ചുറ്റിലും എന്താണ്? It is all zeros, isn't it? So it is not being connected to the ones here, the ones in the remaining part of your image. So this image, this one with this pixel is not connected. This pixel is said to be not connected. This pixel is said to be not connected. Now let us take another example. Let us take another example which is of a grayscale. You're taking an example of a grayscale image. You're taking an example of a grayscale image. You know that the grayscale image values are set to vary from 0 to 255. The grayscale image value is set to vary from 0 to 255. But I'm only going to consider the pixels which are specified in the set V. I'm only going to concentrate or I'm only going to work on the pixels which are specified in the set V. And set V says you have to only concentrate on the pixels which have values from 1 to 10, which have values from 1 to 10. Okay, so you're going to consider only the pixels which are having values from 1 to 10 in your image, which in your grayscale image where the pixel values can vary from 0 to 255. Let us take a small example. Let us take it as 60, say 10, you've got 200, you've got 12, Okay. Uh, Sorry, you can say it is 2. Okay, then you can have a value something like this. Okay, so imagine that you have got a grayscale image for which each position pixel value has been given here. And I've said that I'm only going to consider the pixels which are having, which whose values are being specified in the V set. That is, uh, those are the pixels under consideration. So imagine I choose a pixel which is having a value 2. It belongs to the set, so I can choose a pixel value 2. Now I try to see the connectivity of this pixel with the remaining pixels which are having a value which belongs to the set V. So you can see that this pixel, this particular pixel and this seventh pixel. So these are the only pixels which belong to your set V. So only those pixels connectivity I have to check. So again, if you see in this, you can see that 2 is connected to 10 and 2 is connected to 3, but the 7 cannot be connected to any of the other pixels which are in the set V, the pixels which are under our consideration. We cannot connect this particular pixel to any of the other pixels. So this 7 is said to be not connected. The 7 is said to be not connected. But now let us take the pixel which is at 2 and see how it is connected to 3. Now, as I already told you, the straight line connections, they are said to be called as the 4 adjacency connection. Okay, they're said to be called as a 4 adjacency connection. They're said to be called as a 4 adjacency connection. And these diagonal connections are said to be called as what type of connectivity or what kind of adjacency? They are said to be called as the 8 adjacency. They are said to be called as the 8 adjacency. This diagonal connectivity, the diagonal connections are said to be called as the 8 adjacency. But if you have straight line connections, it is said to be called as a 4 adjacency. So we have tried to explain the concept of 4 adjacency and 8 adjacency with respect to your binary image and also with respect to your grayscale image. Okay, with respect to your binary image and with respect to your grayscale image. Next, we are going to consider the third one, that is your M adjacency. We are going to talk about the M adjacency. It is called as a mixed adjacency. It is called as a mixed adjacency. That is because it is a modification which is being done on 8 adjacency. That is because a modification on 8 adjacency is said to be made. So whatever ambiguity that is said to be arising in your 8 adjacency, so as to remove that ambiguity, we make use of M adjacency to remove whatever ambiguity arises. Now, what is this ambiguity am I talking about? Now, if you have pixels like this, we are going to take an example of binary image. So you have 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, and you have 0, 0, 1. Okay, you have it like this. Okay, and then what I do is I am selecting a particular pixel here. I'm selecting a particular pixel here. And I'm trying to find the connectivity of it because the V is said to be equal to 1. So I'm only considering the pixel which is having the value 1 into consideration. That is the important one. Now, if you see here, I can connect this one with this one in a diagonal way. I can connect this one in a straight way. I can connect this one with a diagonal way. Okay. I can also connect this one with this one in which way? There's another one more way if you can look into it. There's another way, that is after connecting with this one and this one can be connected to this. So there are two ways, that is either in this way or it is in this way. That is you connect with this and from here you can connect like this. So this type of connectivity is there and also this type of connectivity is there. So that causes a lot of confusion. Okay, it causes a lot of confusion in this. So to remove that confusion, we make use of the concept that is said to be M adjacency. And the M adjacency says that when you have M is said to be called as the mixed adjacency. Okay. It says that if you have a straight line connectivity, if you have got a straight line connectivity here, okay, then we cannot have a simultaneous diagonal connectivity. You cannot have a simultaneous diagonal connectivity. See here, there is a straight connectivity, And at the same time, a diagonal connectivity is also being established, isn't it? So that cannot be done. These two things cannot be done. So in that, how can you connect? If you have 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, this one is connected diagonally. This one is connected in the straight way. From here, you cannot have this diagonal connectivity. You have to go through this. You have to go through the straight connectivity. That is, one is connected to one, and from here you will have this kind. You will have your straight connectivity here. You will not have your diagonal connectivity there. So that is the concept of your M adjacency. That is the concept of your M adjacency. So next we are going to look into the distance measure. We checked the connectivity and adjacency. Now we are going to look into something that is called as the distance measure. We are going to talk about the distance measure. Okay, now what is this distance measure? That is, you have an image, just like earlier, you have an image which is said to be called as f of x comma y, and you are considering some pixels, say p, q, and z. You're considering some pixels like p, q, and z, and you're trying to find the distance between these pixels. Okay, you're trying to find the distance between these pixels, and for that, you make use of a distance function which is said to be given the name d. Okay, you're going to make use of a distance function which is going to be given the name d. Now imagine I have something like this. I can call it as a 4 by 4 matrix of image I'm going to consider. Okay, a 4 by 4 image I have taken, in which this part is said to be chosen. I'm taking a pixel at this particular coordinate, and I'm taking a pixel at this particular coordinate. Now let this pixel, okay, you have 3 pixels that you have selected. You have 3 pixels that you have selected. Now let's give some names to it. You can call this as P, you can call this as your Q, and let us call this as Z. So what are the coordinate positions? You can give a name for that, that is X comma Y. This can be called as U comma V. I'm writing it generally so that you can understand when I start doing it. So these are the pixels that I have chosen for my consideration. Now to define the distance function, I have some properties. Now, the properties of the distance function, there are some 3 properties where they say that the distance between 2 pixels, okay, don't look into this diagram and imagine, okay, so you can just imagine that you have some random pixels which are placed, and the distance between the 2 pixels can be greater than or equal to 0. Okay, it is said to be greater than or equal to 0. That is, obviously, you will not get a negative value. You're always going to get a positive value at first place. Secondly, what about 0? 0 means when both P and Q are the same pixel, you will get the value as 0 for the distance. If P and Q are same, then the distance value is going to be equal to 0, or else the distance will be always greater than 0 whenever you are taking the distance between 2 pixels. Now we're going to take the next one. That is what I wanted to say was the same thing. That is, your distance between P and Q will be equal to 0 if your P is said to be equal to Q. If your P is equal to Q. The third point says that the distance between P and Q is same as if you try to write Q first and P later. In any way you do, because we are using the modulus operator. So, sorry, absolute value we are going to use. So that's why uh, any way you write, okay, your distance is going to be the same. Now, next, the fourth one, it says that the distance between P and Z, the distance between P and Z, the distance between 2 pixels P and Z will be less than or equal to, the distance between P and Q, the distance between P and Q plus the distance between P and Z. Okay, plus the distance between P and Z. It can be equal to or it can be less than. Okay, that is what it says. So these are the 4 properties for your distance function. The same way you need to measure the distance. You need to measure the distance. How do you measure the distance? To measure the distance, we have we have three ways of this measuring the distance. One is said to be called as the it is said to be called as the Euclidean distance measure. Second is said to be called as a city block. The second is said to be called as a city block. And the third is said to be called as the chess board. The third is said to be called as a chess board. You have the Euclidean, you have the city block, and you have the chess board. Okay. So for Euclidean, you write it as dE of P comma Q. Okay. For city block, you write it as D4 of P comma Q. And for chessboard, you write it as D8 of P comma Q. Okay. And the formula is given as I'll be writing in terms of xy and st. Okay. And imagine that I'm trying to find the distance between p and q. So first we will take the difference between the x values, that is x minus s, okay, x minus s the whole square, minus of the y coordinate difference, that is y minus t. Okay, this is y and this is t. So y minus t the whole square, the whole you're going to take raised to half, the whole raised to half. Now what about the second one, that is how do you find for city block? It is the modulus of the x minus s. Okay, that is you're taking the difference of the x value and you're taking the absolute of it plus the absolute of the y difference, the absolute of your y difference. That is why your distance will be always greater than or equal to 0. It can never be a negative value. In this case also, as you're doing to the power of half and also you're taking a square value, you can see that it will always result in a positive value. In the last one, the equation is you take it as max of x minus s, okay? And you're going to take the max of the x difference or the y difference. You're going to take the max of x difference or the y difference. Now, this is just a definition of distance measure, like how do you measure the distance and all, and what are the properties of it. I'll try to explain this with an example, a small example I can take. So in the case of Euclidean distance, you understood that, how it is being done. Now in this case, if you take this particular example itself, if you take the same example, you have taken a 4 by 4, or you can take a 5 by 5. Okay. I'm considering this 1 pixel. Mm. Say I consider this 1 pixel. So this is my P. P has a coordinate value 2 comma 2 and my Q has a coordinate value of 4 comma 4. Now if I try to find what the Euclidean distance is between both of them, that is equal to the difference in the x value, that is P comma Q. So that is going to be 2 minus 4 the whole squared plus 2 minus 4 the whole squared, the whole raised to half. And you know that is equal to 2 minus 4 is 2. 2 square is said to be 4 plus again 4. So 4 plus 4 is going to be 8 and 8 raised to half. That is 8 raised to half is said to be your Euclidean distance. 8 raised to half is said to be the Euclidean distance. Okay. Now that is the distance between the two pixels. That is the distance between the two pixels. Now if you want to do it on the basis of block, okay, we have studied about two types. One is the city block and the chessboard type. In that, how do you do it? The same example I'm going to take, okay, the same example, that you can just see the diagram and you can understand how they are distinguishing their neighbors. One, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, to know about this, I'm going to take a small example. Imagine I have a pixel here. Imagine I have a pixel here. Okay. In the case of your city block, you're going to consider the four neighborhoods. You're going to consider the four neighborhoods. The four neighborhoods are, that is on the top, this block is said to be a distance 1 from this block. The block which is at the bottom, that is a pixel at the bottom, right at the bottom, this will be given 1 because it is at a distance 1. The block to the right, sorry, the block to the left here, as my pointer is moving to the left, so it is said to be at a distance 1. The block to the right, it is said to be at distance 1. Okay. And then how do you find the distance of these neighbors? You cannot say this is at distance 1. No. How do we go is we go like this. We go like this. It is taken 1 and then this is said to be 1. So 1 plus 1, the distance is said to be 2. Now if I want to measure this, I can go like this. I can say this is the distance is 1. 1 plus 1 is said to be 2. Okay, here also I can go like this. 1 and 1, I can say it is said to be 2. Here it is said to be 2. So what about this particular place? What about the corners, children? What about the corners? You can very well imagine if this is 1, this is said to be 2, this is going to be 3, and this is going to be 4. Okay, same way here, this is 1, this is 2. Okay, you can go like this or you can go like this. This is said to be 3 and this is said to be going to be 4. So corners are always going to have the distance as 4. The corners are going to have the distance as 4. Now, this is the case of your city block distance. This is the case of your city block distance, how they are measuring the difference, how they are measuring the distance between the adjacent pixels. Okay. Now, when we talk about the last one, which is a chessboard method, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Again, I'm going to choose a center pixel, that is 0. Now, with respect to this, how do I define the distance of my neighboring pixels? Here, I'm going to take 8 neighbor adjacency. I'm going to make use of 8 neighbor adjacency, where all the 8 neighbors of my 0 are considered to be at a distance of 1. That is the straight neighbors, that is up top and bottom, left and right, and even the diagonal ones are said to be at distance of 1. Even the diagonal ones are said to be at distance 1. So obviously, what will be the value of the other pixels as you go outside? It will be incrementing by 1. So this is 1, 1 plus 1, it is going to be 2. Okay, this is going to be 2, isn't it? That is, if you take in this way or you take in this way, it is going to be 2. Okay, so like that, you're going to have all the surrounding pixel values to be 2. The surrounding pixel values, you will get the value as 2. So this is the case of your chessboard. This is the case of your chessboard. Now same question if I take P as, I'm taking P to be 2 comma 2, which is at said to be at say 2 comma 2, and the Q is said to be a distance of 4 comma 4. Okay, so what would be the distance of it? If you see, what would be the distance if I take this particular pixel? Okay, and I'm trying to find the distance of this pixel from this pixel. So I'll be considering diagonally. So diagonally it is at a distance of 2. It is at a distance of 2. When we consider the chessboard method. Okay. But if you're making use of a city block method, if I have a pixel here, what is the value of the pixel which is at this point? You're going to measure like this: 1 plus 1, 2, 2, this is going to be 3, and this is going to be 4. So the distance is going to be 4. You can see the calculation also. It was given as x minus s, okay, plus y minus t. So that was 2 minus 4 plus, you're going to take 2 minus 4. So that was 2 and 2, you get it as 4. This was for your city block. In the case of your chess block, we were taking the max value of the difference in the x value and the difference in your y value. If you see this also, in this case, what is happening? Max of the x value is said to be what? 2, and the y value is also 2. So max of 2 and 2 is going to be 2. So if you saw here, the distance diagonally was considered as 2, isn't it? So that is how we find the distance, the three types of distances. Distance measure is said to be conducted.